What's up, KC and beyond? This is the KC crime fighter activist Alonzo Washington. I'm an anti-crime activist. I've been fighting against gun violence and solving crimes most of my adult life. Ever since I was a teen, I fought against gun violence. So this new concern about guns is unique to me because guns have always been a problem in America, particularly in the inner city. Now, 20 young kids mowed down is a terrible thing, but back in Columbine, I created a comic book. I'm the creator of Omega Man, the African-American superhero that deals with social issues. We dealt with school shootings. We dealt with bullying. We dealt with kids who feel isolated and might want to shoot up a school. Kids who face peer pressure to get into gangs. And it seems as if two topics are not being brought out in this conversation. Now that 20 young kids have been killed in middle of America, in the suburbs, it's a big issue. But every day in the African American community and inner cities all over the country, kids are killed with the #1 offender, handguns. Now we're talking about banning assault rifles, and that's a plan, but I don't think it will work. I've been fighting gun violence since 3 decades now. And when the assault weapons ban was on, there was like no difference in the inner city because people was getting shot, pop, 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 getting shot up. Now, you got two sides of the debate. You got people who want to take away all the guns, and you got people who want to have guns no matter what. I think the answer lays somewhere in between. You got people saying we need security in schools, we need to deal with the mental illness, but really when we look at it, this guy shot through a school. Okay, he also got his guns from his mother legally. There needs to be some vouchers that will help gun owners get secure locks to lock up their guns, to get gun cabinets. Have you seen some of these things? Gun cabinets and bolts, they cost $3,000, thousands of dollars. Why can't we get some government vouchers for that? I will be writing the president and the vice president because they're wanting to come up with gun violence, but it seems like we're not talking about what takes place. If the schools are secure, if the assault ban weapons are out, for one, criminals are going to have the weapons, and you're also going to have street corners. More people get killed in America on street corners than in any school. 34 murders per day. Inner city, shot up. In Kansas City, I'm from Kansas City, Kansas City, Missouri. But in Kansas City, Missouri, a very small community, very small city. 104 murders right now in our city. Missouri in the state is #1 in African American homicides. Now, has the president addressed this? I'm glad the president is talking about gun violence, but in the city he's from, Chicago, you have people, you have 200 shootings there, 30 people getting killed in a night, 200 people getting shot. It's just insane. So all I'm saying is, let's look at the faces of the kids that was killed at this school shooting, this massacre, because that's all we're talking about. The Dark Night shooting, Columbine, the massacres. But let's look at the kids that are killed in Kansas City, Missouri, Philadelphia, Chicago. There's a difference. Let's bring black victims into the mix. Let's bring shooters of all races in the mix. I still believe that if these shooters were not just white males, the news would not be saying they're brilliant, they're super smart, they were isolated. There's so many excuses of why they do this. No. What it is that guns is power. And when people feel isolated, when people feel like they're not a part of something, being the mentally ill, people who have been bullied, people who are oppressed and come from poor communities, they pick up and use guns as their power. And we have not addressed that. We haven't addressed bullying. We have not addressed isolation. We have not addressed the lack of power that creates gun violence. And I want to be a part of the conversation because I'm an advocate against crime. And what I have chosen to do, because not enough people are bringing their perspective. You have people saying that they're dropping the NRA. The NRA is crazy. I think there has to be a change, and voices have to come in. I, boom, have joined the NRA. This is my card, the NRA, because I am calling for gun companies and gun organizations to support anti-crime efforts, to help get tips in homicides. That's what I do. And also to teach gun education. We got to take guns away from people that think they're power and use them as a tool. All guns can't be bad because every cop, every hero, every soldier has a gun. Okay? We got to get the right perspective about guns, and we have to stop this, and we can't just look at school massacres and mall shootings. We have to look at the solemn whole picture, and we're not looking at it. And I'm here to make that happen. I will be writing to the vice president, the president. I will be on this issue, writing to the NRA. If you want to help, you can give me a call at 913-321-6764. You can give me a tip on a homicide. And if you want to send me an email and help me with my cause, you can go to omega7toys@aol.com. omega7toys@aol.com. Also, if you're interested in the active shooter comic book, visit www.omega7.com. Thank you for listening. Peace.